Okay, so good morning all. Actually, we have started a new topic, that is classification of systems, in the last class, and we are going to start the session with the contents what we left in the classification of the systems. Okay, now today completely I am going to deliver the lecture through the whiteboard. See, can you able to see my whiteboard here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Okay, let us start the actual session. I think we have covered 3 types of classification out of the 7 classifications. The first one is continuous time and discrete time systems. Later, lumped parameter and distributive parameter systems. And after that, we have covered the static and dynamic systems. So static and dynamic systems are also called as memory systems or memory-less systems. Okay, dynamic system is a memory system. Static system is a memory less system. Okay, already we have solved some problems related to that particular topic. Now we are going to see the another classification, that is causal and non-causal systems. Okay, see, have you listened this word causal and non-causal? In the case of classification of systems also, sorry, signals also, we have seen the same wording, that is causal and non-causal signals. So similarly, the systems are also classified into causal and non-causal systems. Okay, so when we call a particular system is a non-causal system, or when we call a particular system is a causal system. Now we are going to see the definition of this causal and non-causal signal. So it is the system, it is the system which is a system which for which the output, students, is it clear? Is it visible to you? See, I am representing the causal and non-causal systems here on the whiteboard. I am going to present the classification causal and non-causal systems on the whiteboard. Okay, is it clear? Any one of you please respond. Can you able to see what I am writing on the whiteboard? Hello students, can anyone respond? Okay, thank you. So it is the system for which the output at any value of time depends on present or past or present and past. See, please try to remember the 3 conditions here. So the causal system is one for which the output at any value of time t depends on the past value or the present value or present and past values also, but not on future values, values. So in this particular case, we can call the given system is a causal system. Suppose if any system, the given system satisfies or it depends on the future values of the input signal, then we can directly say that system is a non-causal system. That system is a non-causal system. Just wait a moment. Somebody has raised some doubt. So just I will close here. Now is it okay? Do you mute yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now right. Thank you. Now again we'll start sharing the whiteboard here. Okay. Now is it okay? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Right. See, here I have defined a causal and a non-causal system. So causal system is the one for which the output at any value of time t depends on either present or past or present and past values of the input signal, but not on the future values of the input signal. Okay. Let us see. Okay, one or two problems based on this concept so that you will get a clear idea regarding this particular one. Now see here. I will give you the system here. Now see here. So I am giving you the system. So y of t is equal to uh, x square of t, y of t is equal to x square of t plus x of, see, instead of repeating instructions again, so many of you are disturbing the class. Okay, just try to attend the class after at least after 5 minutes. Now see here. So this has been the system that what he has given, and you are asked to verify whether this system is a causal or non-causal system. This is completely continuous time system. Why? Because here the time notation is mentioned in small t. Suppose if the time notation mentioned in small n, that represents a discrete system, but in this case it is a continuous time system, and you have been asked to verify whether this system is a causal or a non-causal system. Okay, now we shall solve this problem, right? So y of t is equal to x square of t plus x of t minus t. So now see the basic definition. It is a system for which at any value of time, so you can substitute whatever may be the value, that may be either from minus infinity to plus infinity. Randomly we have chosen 2 or 3 values of time, and we have substituted the values of time in this particular system what he has given. Later we will verify whether the system satisfies the given condition or not. Okay, so for our sake we are considering t is equal to 0. Sir, why you have always taken t is equal to 0? Why you have not taken t is equal to minus 0.5 or minus 5 or minus 10 or minus 10? See, that is completely user's choice. Okay, so whatever may be, you are allowed to take any value in between minus infinity to plus infinity. But why I am taking t is equal to 0 means, obviously it is very easy to get the response immediately. Okay, so that is why I am considering only time t is equal to 0 here. Now substitute t is equal to 0 in the given system. Now substitute t is equal to 0 in the given system. So what is the given system here? Y of t is equal to x square of t plus x of t minus 2. Now see here. So y of t becomes, now here y of 0, which is equal to x square of, x square of 0, x square of 0 plus x of minus 2 here. T minus 2 means 0 minus 2, again you will get minus 2. So now please see here the output. Now what is the present value of the output? That is at time t is equal to 0 is the present value of the time. So present value of the output depends on x square of 0. You can also consider this as x of 0 whole square. This is x of 0 whole square. That means the input at a present value of the time. So what is the present value here? Present value is t is equal to 0. So output at t is equal to 0 depends on the present value of the input signal, and x of minus 2 is the past value of the input signal. Okay, in this particular case, this is the present value. This is present value. Now this is past value. Past value of what? Past value of input signal. So here y of t is always denoted with, that means it is the representation of a output of the system. So x of t is nothing but input of the system. So the output at, see the definition, the output of the system at any value of time t depends on either present or past and the combination of present and past values. Now see here, x of 0 is present value of the input signal, x of minus 2 is the past value of the signal, past value of the input signal. Now the present value of the output y of t depends on the present value of the input signal and the past value of the input signal. Now see here, so condition 1, this is condition 2, now this is condition 3. So it satisfies the condition 3. Obviously we can call this system as a causal system. Causal system. Is it okay? Do you have any doubts regarding this particular system? Classification of system, causal and non-causal. So in this case, so finally our conclusion is it is a causal system. Causal. It is a causal system. Do you have any doubts regarding this? Shall I solve one more problem based on the discrete time system? At least you put the same in chat box. If you are unwilling to talk, you put the same in chat box so that I can able to see. Anybody is there? Students. Shall I move on to the next problem? Okay, thank you. So the next, this is the first one. This is the first problem that we have solved. Next we are going to see the second one. Now we are going to see the second one. Okay. Now see here. So just now we have seen whether the given continuous time system is a causal or non-causal system. Now we are going to see whether the given signal or given system x of n is, sorry, y of n is causal or non-causal system. So y of n is equal to x of n plus 1 by x of n minus 1. So you have been given this system, and for this system you are asked to verify whether it is a causal or non-causal system. Remember that the notation here, we are following the notation for time index is small n. That means it is a discrete signal. Okay, n may be a integer. So that may be either positive integer or negative integer. So for this system we are going to determine the causality. Okay, if the system is a, let us going to verify the system is a causal or non-causal system. Okay, so whatever may be the value of time, you must consider any value from minus infinity to plus infinity, such that finally what is your intention? You have to determine whether the given system is a causal or non-causal. Okay. Again, in this case also, suppose in the previous case we have seen 0. Somebody has some doubts. Sir, why not we have considered n is equal to 1 or n is equal to 2 other than 0? Now, in this case, I will show you what happens if we consider n is equal to some other value instead of 0. Now, I am considering n is equal to 1 here. N is equal to 1 here. Now, that system becomes, suppose, please, once again, I am reminding you that don't consider or don't be in a state to say directly if the system is a static or dynamic or causal or non-causal or stable, whatever it may be. Don't consider only one value. My sincere suggestion is you consider at least 3 values. That means suppose if it is T, that means continuous time system, you can verify the causality or static or dynamic or LTA, linear time invariant systems, for by considering at least 3 values. T is equal to 0, T is equal to -1, T is equal to 1. And for these 3 values, if the system satisfies all the given conditions, obviously you can state whether that system may be either static or dynamic or causal or non-causal, okay, time variant or time invariant, whatever it may be. Okay, don't stick on to only one value. Sometimes, okay, if n is equal to 0, the conditions has to be satisfied. But when you come to n is equal to -1 or n is equal to 1, obviously that conditions may not be met. In that particular case, don't be stick on to only one value, that is equal to 0. You just substitute n is equal to -1 and n is equal to 1. So similarly, t is equal to -1, 0, 1. Okay, this is my sincere suggestion. While you are stating whether the particular system is causal or non-causal, static or dynamic, time variant or time invariant, linear or non-linear system. So in this case, I am considering n is equal to 1 here. So what is the present value of the output? N is equal to 1. So this must be depends on x of 1. This is the present value of the input signal by x of 0. Now what is this? Present value is 1, past value is 0. So here in this case, this is present value. This is present value. This is past value of the input signal. Why I am saying this is a past value? Now, in this particular case, our present value of the time is 1. So when you take that present value of the time is 1, obviously 0 is nothing but it is delayed by that present value. That means it is a past value. So in this case also, the output depends on the present value of the signal, input signal, and the past value of the input signal. Let us verify it for n is equal to 0. Let us verify the same system by considering n is equal to 0. Now let us see whether these conditions satisfied or whether the conditions stated are satisfied or not. So now what is your present value of the time? That is equal to 0. So y of 0 is equal to, now see here in this case, x of 0. This is the present value of the input signal. Now what about the past value of the input signal? This is x of 0 minus 1. So this becomes x of -1. So the present value of the output depends on the present value of the input signal and the past value of the input signal. So in this case also, the conditions have been met. So finally we conclude that this given system, discrete time system, is also causal signal. Causal system. Causal system. Now I will give you one problem. Now please tell me whether this is a non-causal or causal system. So y of n is equal to x square of n plus 2. Y of n is equal to x square of n plus 2. Just by seeing the system, we can able to say the answer. Is it causal or non-causal? Is it causal or non-causal? So causal system is one which depends on the output at any instant of time, depends on the present value of the signal or the past value of the input signal or present and past values of the input signal. Okay, but not on future values. Now see the system and verify whether this is a causal or non-causal. So somebody has given me the answer causal. Okay, now let us verify whether this is a causal or non-causal. See, again I'm going to substitute n is equal to 0 here. Now what happens if we substitute n is equal to 0? Y of 0 is equal to x square of 0 plus 2. So what you will get 0 plus 2, x of 2. Now what is the present value of the input signal? X of 0. What is the past value of the input signal? Either x of minus 1 or x of minus 2 or x of minus 3, whatever it may be. But here you are getting 2. This is the future value of the input signal. Okay. Now if you consider t is equal to 0, this is the present value. All the past values are minus 2, minus infinity to 0. Okay, now this becomes the future value of the input signal. So in this case, this system is said to be non-causal system. See, just I wanted to show you the example for non-causal system. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear? Can anybody respond? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us move on to the next classification. So with this, we have concluded the causal and non-causal systems. After that, we are going to start the two more properties that I am going to cover today's session as well as the next session are very, very important. Definitely you should get a problem based on this particular concept, classification of systems. Okay, you have been given a single system and you are asked to determine whether that is a static or dynamic, causal or non-causal, time variant or time invariant, linear or non-linear systems. This is a very, very, very important topic. Please don't forget about this, the importance of this one, right? Now, the next one is linear or non-linear systems. Now, I will see the linear and non-linear systems when the particular system is said to be linear and when the particular system is said to be non-linear. Okay. This is the fifth classification. Linear and non-linear systems. Linear and non-linear systems. Now, please all of you carefully observe what I am going to write here. Linear and non-linear systems. See, you must remember the superposition theorem here. Okay. So whenever a particular system is said to be linear system, it must obey the principle of superposition. I think you have studied the superposition theorem in your network theory, right? So what the superposition theorem states? Superposition theorem states that for any arbitrary input. See, now tell me the definition. Can anyone tell me the definition or the superposition theorem? But whatever it may be, superposition principle here is a very, very important term, linear and non-linear systems. Okay. Now see here, if an arbitrary input x1 of t, if an arbitrary input x1 of t produces an arbitrary output y1 of t, if for an arbitrary input x1 of t, arbitrary input means any input, for any input x1 of t that produces an output y1 of t from the system. Okay. Similarly, for an arbitrary input of x2 of t, which produces an arbitrary output y2 of t. Okay, y2 of t. produces the output of y2 of t, and then an arbitrary input x1 of t plus this is a into produces an arbitrary output of a into y1 of t plus b into y2 of t. Now, please all of you look at this. If an arbitrary input x1 of t produces c, now I am drawing a system here. Now, this is any system that may be either continuous time system or discrete time system, whatever it may be, but this is a system. Whatever it may be, we don't bother about whether this is a, but here I am mentioning x1 of t means obviously this system is a continuous time system. So I am considering x1 of t as a arbitrary input which is applied to this system, and this will produce an arbitrary output y1 of t. So similarly, again, if I am giving x2 of t as the input for this system, this will produce y2 of t as a output. This will produce y2 of t as a output. Now what happens if I applied a into x1 of t plus b into x2 of t as the input to this system? This will produce a into y1 of t plus b into y2 of t. Okay, so I will read the superposition principle, which is not related to network theory. This is related to our signals and systems. So the response to a weighted sum of input signals be equal to the corresponding weighted sum of outputs of the system to each and individual signals. Okay, you are going to obtain the response for the weighted sum of the input signals. Weighted sum means a into x1 of t plus b into x2 of t. This is the weighted sum of the input signals. Okay, so the response to a weighted sum of input signals is equal to the responses produced by the individual signals x1 of t and x2 of t. This is what you are going to understand from this linear and nonlinear system. So this is exactly similar to that of superposition principles. So what I want to say is, if you are applying a into x1 of t and plus b into x2 of t, this is the weighted sum of the input signals. And now observe y of t is equal to, so that is a into y1 of t plus b into y2 of t. This is the output obtained if you give the input signal as this one. Suppose what is the output you are getting if you are applying x1 of t, and what is the output you are getting x2 of t, y2 of t, how? Okay, now so this is the weighted sum of the input signals. For you people, again I am going to write down here. Now see the condition for linearity. The response are the output to a weighted sum of the input signals. Now, what is the weighted sum of the input signals? So see here, weighted sum of the input signals. Weighted sum of the input signals means A into x1 of t, A into x1 of t plus B into x2 of t plus B into x2 of t. Now this is the weighted sum of the input signal. So the response to this weighted sum of the input signals. So what is the response? What is the output you are getting? If you are giving this as the input signal to the system, you will get A into y1 of t, A into y1 of t plus B into y2 of t. So this is the response you are getting if you are applying the weighted sum of the input signals. The weighted sum of the input signals be equal to, suppose if I am considering this as y. So finally y of t is equal to what is y of t here? This is the response obtained by applying weighted sum of the input signals to a system. That must be equal to corresponding weighted sum of the outputs to each and individual signal. Suppose individually we are considering x1 of t and x2 of t, we are getting y1 of t and y2 of t. So y of t is equal to the sum of the individual responses. The sum of the individual responses. So y of t is the response of the weighted sum of the input signals, and y1 of t and y2 of t are the individual responses after applying a arbitrary inputs x1 of t and x2 of t for the system. So finally you need to verify whether y of t is equal to y1 of t plus y2 of t or not. If yes, we can say that system is a linear system. Okay, that system is a, so you can verify, if you want you can verify the same the superposition theorem, superposition principle to the network theory also. In that case also we are going to obtain the total response that should be equal to the sum of the individual responses. So that is why I told you the superposition theorem is also applicable to this linear. So whenever you are saying a particular system is said to be linear, obviously it must satisfy superposition principle. Okay, now we are going to verify a particular system for linearity. Do you clear? Do you understand? Do you have any doubts regarding this linear and non-linear systems? You just ask me. If you have any doubts regarding this, please ask me or put the same in a chat box so that I can able to see your question. Is it clear? At least any one of you please respond.
Yes, sir.
So now see here. Check whether the following system is linear or non-linear system. That is what the question is. Check whether the following system is linear or non-linear. So always the systems are either represented in differential equations or the difference equations. Suppose if the system is a discrete system, obviously you can represent the same system with the difference equation. If the system is a continuous time system, obviously you can able to represent the same system with the differential equation. So difference equation and the differential equation. First of all, please observe the difference between differential and difference equation. So here I am giving you a differential equation, that is the representation of a system. So d square y of t by dt square, d square y of t by dt square I'm sorry, you don't have this too. Dy d, sorry, this is also not there. First we will see for simple systems, later we will go for the complex systems. Dy by dt plus 3t into y of t, 3t into y of t, which is equal to t square t square multiplied by x of t. This is the system what he has given. This is completely a differential equation. Now please take a look at this. Take a look at this problem. Now we are going to verify the linearity property. This is a very important one. This property and the next property what we are going to see in the next class is a very important properties. Okay, so you have been asked to verify the linearity of the given system, whether the system is a linear or non-linear system, and the system is represented with the use of differential equation dy by dt plus 3t into y of t is equal to t square into x of t, t square into x of t. Now for this system you have been you have been asked to verify the linearity. Now for that purpose I am considering two arbitrary signals x1 of t, two arbitrary signals x1 of t and x2 of t. Now corresponding outputs for these inputs are y1 of t, y1 of t plus and y2 of t. So corresponding output are the response of a system by taking x1 of t as the input signal is y1 of t. The corresponding output with respect to x2 of t is y2 of t. So first of all, consider the given equation, substitute or obtain the response by taking one individual input at a time. One individual input at a time. So if you are considering x1 of t and apply x1 of t to the system, that system will produces an output like this. So dy y1 of t by dt plus 3 into t into y1 of t. There is no change in the time. The only change is y of t can be treated as y1 of t and x of t can be treated as x1 of t. So here the first equation is obtained by applying x1 of t for the system. Now the response is dy y1 of t by dt plus 3 into t into y1 of t is equal to t square into x1 of t. Now simply replacing x of t with x1 of t, y of t with y1 of t. That is the condition 1. That means equation 1. Now equation 2. What is the response of the same system if that is taking x2 as input? So similarly, just you substitute y2 of t in place of y of t by dt is equal to 3t into y2 of t, 3t into y2 of t is equal to t square multiplied by x2 of, so x2 of t. Now we shall make this as equation number 1. This is the response to the individual signal x1 of t, and this is the response to the second individual input signal x2 of t. Okay, now these are the individual responses just now we have obtained. Okay, now please try to remember this. Try to remember this. Now I am applying the weighted sum of the input signals and I am going to verify the weighted sum of the output. So here equation 1, this is obtained just by substituting the individual signal x1 of t, and equation 2 is obtained by substituting individual signal x2 of t, and we have verified the responses. Now I am going to verify for the weighted sum. That means equation 3. So equation 3. So d by dt of, in place of x of t, now I am considering x1 of t plus x2 of t, and in place of y of t I am replacing that y of t with the y1 of t plus y2 of t. So this is d by dt of y1 plus y2. See here t is also there, but I have not written t here. So y1 of t plus y2. Now plus 3t multiplied by y1 plus y2. y1 plus y2 is equal to t square multiplied by x1 of t plus x2 of t. Now to check the linearity condition, you have to sum up equation 1. So equation 1 plus equation 2. Now if you add the two equations and verify you are getting equation 3 or not. If not, that system is a non-linear system. If yes, that system is a linear system. So this is the condition for testing the linearity. Now please add equation 1 and equation 2 and verify whether you get the same answer or not. At least any one of you, please post your answer in chat box. Add equation 1 and equation 2 and verify whether you are getting the same answer or different. So dy y1 of t by dt plus dy y2 of t by dt. Okay, you can take d by dt as common from these two terms. So y1 of t plus y2 of t. So did you get the answer? Yes, correct. The first term you get. Now see here, if you take 3t common from both the terms, you will get y1 of t plus y2 of t. Again, this is also good. Now, if you take t square as common from these two terms, so t square multiplied by x1 of t plus x2 of t. Okay, so equation 1 plus equation 2 is equal to equation 3. So in this case, it is said to be linear. This obeys the superposition principle. Students, is it clear? Do you have any doubts regarding today's topic? If you have any doubts regarding today's topic, you please ask me the doubts. Yes, roll number 259. What is your doubt? So before asking the doubts, you please start your video and unmute yourself. Students, anyone is having any doubts regarding this? Not only this topic, the earlier topics what we have covered so far. I think no one is having no doubts. I don't know whether you are in the session or not. Roll number 212, 18 series, roll number 212. So randomly I pick up the numbers and I will ask you the doubts also. Roll number 212. Do you have any doubts regarding today's topic?
No, sir.
Did you understand the concept of linearity and non-linearity and causality and non-causal systems?
Sir.
Roll number 209. Are you there? 18 series, roll number 209.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you understand the concept of linearity and non-linearity? That what you have covered in today's session. Do you understand the concept of causal and non-causal systems and linear and non-linear systems? Regarding
Yes, sir.
today's topic. What is your name?
Manisha, sir.
Okay. So, thank you all. This is about the today's session. So tomorrow we'll have two more classifications, that is stable and unstable systems, and time variant and time invariant systems. So along with the linear and non-linear, static and dynamic, and causal and non-causal systems, the remaining two classifications are also very, very important. See, most of the times in your previous question papers, university question papers, this question, single question carries 14 marks. You have been given directly a single system, and for that system you are asked to verify the properties. Obviously the properties of systems, these classifications are also called as a properties. Don't get confused. property of a system is static or dynamic property, it is a property. Causal or non-causal, it is property. Linear and non-linear, it is a property. Time variant and time invariant is also a property. Suppose if you have been asked to write down the properties of system, means don't get confused. You need to write the same: static or dynamic systems, linear and non-linear, causal and non-causal systems, etc. Okay, sometimes you are also calling the same question, okay, for instead of using the classification of the systems. That's all for today. Remaining will continue in the next session, right? Thank you very much. Have a good day.